Welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. And before we get to our guest today, we have a big shout out for Living Sisu. Living Sisu is a platform and app that wants to give you all the tools to have success in your sport. Their main objective is to activate your lifestyle. So it's for active people. Enjoy discounts at companies like BioSteel, 30% off, Body Logics, the Goalie Guild. All his books are discounted. Roan, Lululemon for men, 20% off. Online stretching programs with Eccentrics, 1 full month free. They got super silent massage guns, 20% off those. And it's a great quality. It's way less expensive than a Theragun, and it's great quality. So there's so many more discounts that you guys will need to just become a member to see. So they want to provide you with anything you need for success. So come join the community. I'm a part of it. A bunch of other athletes are a part of it. So it's free to join. It takes 20 seconds to get exclusive offers to your sport, and it's definitely worth it. So do us a huge favor and go sign up for Living Sisu's membership. It's free, takes 20 seconds. So go do it, and we'll see you there. Living Sisu is a great company. We know one of the co-founders, Zach Fricali. He's a great guy. He's the co-founder. He does a lot of live streams on Instagram at Living Sisu, with a bunch of elite athletes, and you learn a lot from like the athletes' determination, their resiliency, everything to what made them become successful. So it's been a great experience so far. So go on. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So go sign up.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of On Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and in today's episode, we are joined by a very special guest, current professional hockey goaltender, good friend of the show, and a familiar guest on the show, Jake Theut. Jake was previously on episode 58. Jake is currently playing the East Coast Hockey League with the Wichita Thunder, playing in 11 games so far this season, while playing 1 game for the Norfolk Admirals earlier in the season. I'm very excited to have Jake back on the show, and he's always a great guest to have on, and even better person to have on. So this is going to be a fun episode. So welcome back to the show, Jake Theut.
Hey, Jack, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's going good. Can't complain here. How's everything going in Wichita and over by you?
It's great. Everything's going good. Just the weather kind of got warm today, so it's always good. Can't complain with 55 and sunny on a nice January day.
Yeah, absolutely. You do any golfing over there or not really?
No, I put the clubs away during the season. I've heard a couple bad stories about being on the golf course too much during the year. So, because I know I'll be one of those guys that'll be glued to the golf course.
Yeah, is that what you do in the off season a lot?
Oh yeah,
hit the links.
Yeah, with my my cousin a lot, Matt DeBlau. He was pretty competitive. I won the last match, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, hey, you ended the year off with the W's. That's all that mattrows.
That's all that matters. You look at the bragging rights going into next year.
Yeah, absolutely. What's been your favorite course to golf at throughout all the courses that you've played at?
I just recently I went to Dallas for Christmas break, and this is gonna sound bad. I'm trying to remember the name. It was where Jack Nicklaus won the 1963 PGA. I think it was 63. Oh, I'm trying to think of it. Oh, the Dallas Athletic Club.
Yeah.
That was really hard, really fun, challenging course. That was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like PGA golf course, there's nothing better than that, and you get all the views, and I'm sure the golf course was beautiful as always that there is in the PGA
Yeah,
Tour.
It was very well kept, and it was 80 degrees around Christmas in Dallas, so it was a can't complain.
Yeah, you can't complain there. You're in warm weather when everywhere else is cold or in the 50s. You'd take an 80 day any day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So are you what's been your best golf score? Are you in the hundreds or
I haven't broke 80 yet, so I'm getting there. I really just started picking up golf really full time. I guess you could call it full time, full summertime. Right when COVID hit. I would play before, but I wasn't really too dialed into it. But now I got And then after I got my master's, my parents got me a custom, like a fitted set as my graduation gift. So it's a challenge, but it's definitely something you got to practice a lot. And definitely during the beginning of the summers, I'm a lot more rusty than towards the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I think that my best was like 98, something like that, but I'm usually in the hundreds. So you're way better than me for sure.
Just keep working. That's all you can do. Keep
exactly.
videos, YouTube.
Any way you can get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Work on your plan.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely have to work at. Would you say that's one of your weaker points, or are you a good putter?
It's kind of it's on and off. I mean,
yeah,
I think I gotta be more consistent with like my my irons. I get the good distance, but it's like can't hit the dartboard, so that kind of screws the score. But
so that's if you can't hit it, that's where the problem is. But like any day you can be on, be off. Like my putting could be on one day and totally off the next.
Yeah.
Like my chipping game is probably my best besides like my driver, but like those are definitely two of the best. And then the putting's the weaker point.
Yeah, driving's the best. I think it's just get the big stick and just bombs away.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you hit that perfect shot with that, when it makes that like clink noise and you're like, oh yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's one of the beauty parts of golf.
Yeah, absolutely. So you golf in the summer, like what else do you do in the summer when you're on that off season grind, like and when you're also training, like what do you do, and like what have you done this summer that's helped you elevate your game going into this season?
So I take like a couple months off. I just get away, decompress a little bit, do a lot of fishing, being outdoors, going to the beach. I'm not too really much of a quote unquote room kid. So I'm kind of out and about doing things. It doesn't really matter. Golfing, just staying busy, being outside. I don't know. I think because during the year, generally it's colder out. I don't know. I just like being outside and regards to workouts, I think big thing I really worked on was kind of more sprinting, getting more explosive with movements, going left to right, and feel a lot better. I've been, making progression. So I'm just going to continue doing those and trying to be innovative and make new change to my workout this upcoming summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So like when you do sprints, do you just sprint like up hills, or do you just go on the track and like sprint like the sidewalks or like 200s or something like that?
Yeah, I do. Well, there's very different things, like very different varies, not very, but different sprints that I do. Hills, like you said, I'm at the track some days. I'm on the turf and the football field some days. Yeah. I like to change it up because if you keep doing the same kind of regimented workouts, you kind of just get very good at that regimented workout, and you got to kind of do multiple different things to kind of get that well-rounded workout in for that summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So like throughout like the days you're training, like how often do you skate on the ice, or like how often do you lift during the off season as well?
So I play in Eastside Elite. That's like our pro summer league back home in Detroit, run by Steve Oleski. It's a great program that he's developed, and a lot of guys, execute a lot of the wings. And he has a really good facility with the Mount Clemens Ice Arena that we all use, and we skate in the mornings. Maybe it depends. Like after 4th of July, no one really skates until after 4th of July.
Yeah, and
then probably once or twice a week in July, and then we'll ramp it up to 2 to 3 in August, and then right before, probably about a month, all the pro guys, everyone starts showing up to the rink. Everyone's trying to get ready in the last minute, but so it's kind of, you got to be careful because in pro, during playing 72 games right now, like it's a lot of games, so you got to take care of your body, but you at the same time you got to be ready to rock as soon as that puck drops.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have that like off-season regimen where you could take couple weeks off, then get right back at it and get ready as the season gets closer and like ramp up the intensity and make sure you're really dialed in for the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So like what was some of the biggest things you focused on or like learned throughout this off season that helped you as an athlete and even as a person as well?
I think the biggest thing, kind of making an adjustment by, is being more efficient in the crease, kind of mastering my movements. Because I feel like when I'm on point, I'm playing really well, but also at the same time when I'm reviewing tape or watching the previous game and watching, each shot by shot, if I'm not in that right spot, I understand why that rebound goes where it is or why the goal is scored, because I'm not in that, exact position. But as personally, I just, try to be as most honest as I can with everyone that I know. People know me as very, very honest,
Yeah.
I kind of just say it how it is. I don't really sugarcoat much.
Yeah.
And, no, I just try to be a good, person too, away from the rink, or even, kids around the rink trying to ask for a puck, try to give a puck once in a while to the kids. And because I remember as a kid growing up that, you feel devastated if you didn't get one. So
Yeah.
if I can just, make one kid smile a night, like, I think that's impactful in more than just one way.
Yeah, all for the kids and for the community. Like, the feeling like when you don't get a puck, you're down, but you just want to, as you grow up, just do things that you would want as a young kid. And now that you're at the level you are.
Yeah, like when I was a little kid, I remember I was at a Detroit Tigers game with my dad, and we were sitting by the bullpen, and I was asking the backup catcher for a ball, and he mocked me. He's like, kind of like a seagull, like balls, balls, balls. Like he was like mocking me.
Yeah.
My dad just told me at the time, and I can still remember. He said, "Just remember that." He didn't know I was going to play. No one knows. Like the future.
Yeah.
But he just told me to remember that moment, and I always have. And so if a kid asks if I can give him a puck, but I just always remember, just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Especially to kids. If you're a dick to kids, that's some more moral issues to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. And just even as I grow up, like all the, like I'm been in a bunch of these like charity tournaments, and like you just see all the kids and they're just having a good time out there, and like they just like seeing you, and like they ask for pucks, like, and like give them knuckles and high fives, and that's big. And like just do anything you can to make the kids happy, and just be like, because everyone was in the same shoes at one point or another.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just got to do whatever you can to make people happy, make one kid happy. Like that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want to go into last season a little bit here for a little bit. So last season was a crazy season for everyone due to the pandemic, but you're lucky enough to play in 22 games for the Macon Mayhem of the SPHL, where you went a great 16-1-4 record while winning the SPHL Goaltender of the Year award. So like, what was last season like, and the craziness that happened throughout that year?
Well, yeah, last season we had a really good group of guys, really tight-knit group. We, did as much as we could together. And we had a good team, good coach, Coach Kevin Kerr. We had good leadership. A lot of guys, that wore letters were, they had a good stance in the locker room. Guys respected them. Their word carried weight, and it was, we were all in it together, right? Like the pandemic just didn't pick certain people. Everyone was affected by it. A lot of guys, on our team eventually did, test positive, but that stuff, it happens. We just fought through it, and it kind of was nice because you were just able to focus on hockey. Some guys, you can tell, that weren't distracted, played better. Some guys love partying, some guys, love playing golf, but kind of everyone was in the same, restrictions, I guess you could say. And I think you could see the guys kind of made progressions throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, what were some of the restrictions? Like you guys didn't have any fans, or did you guys have fans?
We had fans, but we couldn't like interact with them. We had like a list. The team provided a list of approved places we could go. There was like a handful, not even that much. It was maybe a half sheet of paper that we could go and even just go sit down for a meal or something like that. So it was definitely different, but we fought through it.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. And you were playing the game during a really tough time for everyone, where guys didn't even have jobs. So
Correct.
if you're playing, like, that's all that matters, is playing games and just having grown that fun for the game again.
Yeah, I was just very fortunate to play. You know, half the coast wasn't playing, half the SP was playing. So if you were able to play last year, and people valued you as good enough to play, I took full advantage of it. Couldn't pass that up, because I know a lot of guys that were just sitting around at home waiting for something to happen, and things didn't happen or did. And I was just thankful to be playing.
Yeah, for sure. Because you were originally signed with Norfolk that season, and then they opted out, right?
Correct. Yeah. So that was unfortunate. The government in Virginia didn't allow them.
Yeah. So, like, what was it like trying to, like, scramble to find that team to play on, and going from the coast to playing the SB? And, like, even though, like, the SB, like, was pretty much like a coast league last year because of, like, all the talent that was there.
It was weird. It was, I was just skating. I was skating with like Zach Orensky back home. Like, we had a small group of guys that we kind of, said, hey, like, not fuck around. Let's just, stick to the, practice. We'll have a small group for not, risking the spread and all that kind of stuff. And so we skated with Jason Woolley. He's a agent now, and he's a really good guy, great guy. And, I played with Coach Kerr in Greenville, and Woolley knew Kerr, and, we were telling, hey, just be patient. I don't know what's going to happen. And then before you know it, he calls me, and he's like, well, when can you be here? I'll see you tomorrow. So I kind of just made the I guess the jump, and was fortunate to have Coach Kerr as a coach and having a great group of guys around me.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you have that opportunity where the coach is like, when can you get here? You're like, I'll be there the next day, or within like the next like couple hours.
Yeah.
Depending on where it's at.
Especially with COVID, guys were kind of dragging their feet about playing and all that. Yeah. And I knew that the SP wasn't the SP as before, because basically all coast guys, like a lot of our guys even are in the American League right now.
Yeah.
So it was a good league last year, and it's kind of was just like the Coast 2.0 kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, what was it like playing in that first game of the season when you haven't played a game in 9-10 months? Like, what was the feeling? What was the feeling of that game?
It was definitely something to get used to. But playing Eastside Elite, you kind of get that game atmosphere during the summer, so that kind of made it easier. And playing with high-end guys like DeBrincat, Orensky, Larkin, things like that, you kind of get you the confidence going into a game after not playing as long. But you remember you played with those guys all summer, so it was good. I mean, as soon as that puck drops, you kind of forget about all that stuff too. But that was really rock.
Yeah. So, like, what did you learn in a time like that when no one has ever really been in like a situation like this, and then you go right into a season? So, like, what did you learn that season that you never really looked at before?
I think you appreciate more of just being at the rink, being with the guys, going through the grind with the team, because everyone's just sitting at home playing Fortnite for all COVID. I mean, granted, that was fun, but there's nothing better than just being with the guys on the road, home games, wins, going out after wins, losses, kind of regrouping after losses too. And I guess during that time period of COVID, during the beginning of COVID, not playing and then get right back into it, you're like, wow, I miss this, I miss the guys, and I miss playing the sport too. So
yeah, and it grows the love for the game again, and just like you said, like the appreciation for the game, that you're able to just be out there during that time to play games and play the game you've grown up loving and wanting to play for your career.
Yeah, you can't complain. At the end of the day, you're playing pro hockey, and you get to see a bunch of different cities with a bunch of different, bunch of guys you meet, and hockey community is such a great community. So I don't, every day I take full advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, when you are skating in the summer with like DeBrincat, Larkin and all them. Like, what are some of the things you learned from those guys that are shooting at you and just being at that NHL level and like seeing their shots and how they're able to like make that slight adjustment and be able to like switch the angle on you?
It's crazy because they do switch the angle pretty good with when they shoot while shooting, but you find out real quick if you're doing a consistent same mistake or not. If they expose you,
for sure.
They expose you if you're off angle. They expose you if you have your goal a little bit too low for a half second. They expose you with all that stuff. But at the same time, you kind of learn from it, right? And you just kind of in that situation that didn't work with with Z. So you gotta figure it out. Like, all right, that doesn't work there. But it's also like a teaching tool where you see if these guys keep beating you glove or beating you, wherever it is. You're like, okay, I got to change something. I got to make an adjustment. And then they make the adjustment. They try shooting there again. They don't score. They're like, fucking right,
Yeah.
So it's kind of I use it as like a teaching, it's kind of like I use it like as a benchmark, but I also use it as a teaching point to see, what I got to work on or be a little quicker in or stuff like that. Because if you want to get to that level, those guys are going to be shooting on you every night. So you got to be ready for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like any opportunity you can to learn, like take shots, like you can learn from any game. Like games you win, you learn things. Games you lose, like I don't really say you lose games, you learn from them, because you could learn from like all the mistakes that you've made and like work on it at practice the next day. And like even like during the summer, like I skate with some of like the coast guys, and like I've had like talks with some of them like about like what do I see, and then like one of the guys like has a long stick, and then he like switches the angle just slightly, and like that throws you off, and you just got to make that adjustment to make that save. And it's just it's quick, but you gotta do everything you can to adjust to it.
Absolutely. You nailed it right in the head.
Yeah, it's a difficult position, but it's fun when you play it, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's a good challenge.
Yeah.
Especially when you rob guys too. It's fucking.
Yeah, it always feels good when you rob guys, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's been your best desperation save so far this season, if you've had any?
Best desperation?
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I'm trying to think. I mean, I made some pretty big saves going, just back to the post, kind of shoulders back. But I wouldn't say I really had any desperation where I had to dive across the crease or anything.
Yeah,
sometimes too with desperation shades, you're out of position.
Yeah.
So
then you don't want to be in those situations.
No. So I think, like I mentioned earlier, just mastering the crease a little bit better. I think I'm eliminating those kind of goals or situations that I'm getting myself into or got myself into. But I continue to work on my game, and I don't know. I just haven't really. I'm trying to think.
Can't really think that one like flashy save, like post to post, like robs the guy on the goal line, stuff like that.
Yeah, or just a nice glove save too, like on 2-on-1, one-timers, power play one-timers.
Yeah, the glove saves are always the best saves.
Yeah, breakaway save, come in, do a fake deke, shoot glove, and do a little windmill after it.
You always got to do the windmill after.
Yeah, I do a little snap. I don't do a full windmill. I do a little snap.
Yeah. I'll just snap at the wrist.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure the puck doesn't fall out though.
Yeah, that would not be a good look if you did that and then the puck fell out and they scored because of that.
Do a little Patrick Waugh against the Wings and was it 03?
Yeah, I think 03. Yeah, that's a highlight reel for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you went 16-1-4 while cruising a goaltender of the year in the SB last year and getting that and winning that award. So, like, what was the secret sauce to having so much success last season and winning goaltender of the year?
I just really utilized on making the adjustments that I made. I was really focusing on getting my, completing my master's degree, my first year of pro. And then once I was able to complete that, I kind of utilized what I learned with my master's and kind of implemented into the goal crease. And ever since, then I've been really just focusing on my game and I'm, seeing the results that, I've made.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, would you say that the time you used and the experience you used last year really helped you into going into this season, the coast, and just being able to play your game and adjust to the difference of the levels of the league and just be able to have some success at the
Yeah,
ECHL level this
absolutely.
year?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year kind of, I was able to see the fruits of my labor really quickly with, just playing and all that. And this year, Norfolk, we had two guys, on higher contracts coming out, and, Wichita, we had, kind of same situation. So it's kind of, but I'm, playing a little bit more, a lot more now, which is good. But once again, the puck doesn't know all that, stuff. You just got to worry about stopping it and utilizing those adjustments that I made to continue climbing up the ladder in the pro hockey world.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get on to this season, you guys went on to the playoffs where it was you played 4 games last season with Macon going 2-2. It's like, what was the difference between the playoffs last season? How were you able to go about them? Because it was a little bit of a weird like change in directions in how like regular playoff standards would be.
Yeah, with COVID, it was kind of, they had to reduce it and all that. So we swept Huntsville to start. Team, played really well. We were firing on all cylinders. Felt like I was playing well. And the finals, it's kind of, there was some, they're putting a new scoreboard in. I'm not sound like I'm making excuses, but they put a new, scoreboard in the rink in Macon. So we had to travel up to Atlanta to just practice. And I just don't feel like our team, we were as sharp as we usually were. We didn't lose to Pensacola all year, and of course we got swept by them in the final. But just fluky goals, us not scoring timely goal. It was just a perfect not disaster, but perfect situation for us not to win. But that's why you got to play the games, and I think all the guys on Macon last year, we learned, going forward, that to win the playoffs, you'll be firing on all cylinders at all the time. So you can't take any night off, even when you're, sitting pretty as we were.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like once you get in the playoffs, like it's a whole another ball game. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like it goes to 0-0, and then like the underdogs going into the playoffs could win the whole thing. And it's just a lot of like just luck at the same time, and just being just bringing it in with the guys and just buying into the system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like was there any like weird stories that came out of last year? Like I think I heard on another podcast that you guys came up or showed up to a game late and like had a couple minutes to warm up and all that.
Oh yeah. So we were playing Knoxville. Originally it was supposed to be canceled due to COVID. They had a couple positives and they turned out to be quote unquote false positives, but we don't know the full story on that. But so we were practicing, had a 2-hour practice because we weren't playing that day, and I think we had like 7 days off after that. So we had a pretty hard practice. Coach Kerr, blasted on the ground, and before you know it, it's like 2:00. We get a text, "Hey, we gotta get on the bus. We're playing tonight." We're like, "What? Like, no, what? Like, this is no way."
2 hour just got done with a 2-hour practice.
2-hour practice. Guys are in the gym working out. Like, we're like, "What the fuck's going on?" And like they're like, "No, you guys we have to go. Like, you got to play the game tonight." We're like, "It's 5 hours away. It's already 2:00. Like, what do you mean?" So we bus up to Knoxville. Our food at Applebee's was late. So we try to order it ahead of time.
Of course.
So that was even late. So we were like 2.5 hours late for the game. 2 hours, 2.5.
Wow.
And they gave us 15 minutes to warm up. Like, no, and then we had to go out for warm-ups within 15 minutes since we got there.
Wow.
Then we had
no warm-ups for you before you get on the ice.
No, and then Kersey told me, "Hey, you're playing tonight." I said, "Oh, sweet. Like, this is going to be fun." And then, so we warm up, and the rink was full. It was like Knoxville's first home game. So, they had a big crowd, and that's why they probably pushed, having the game. And they played like baby soothing music, before bed, the whole warm up. It was just us on the ice. Pensacola already warmed up.
Yeah.
So we're all just like, "What the fuck's going on here?" did that, and then we ended up getting the win, and then we just bus back home and had a bunch of bus beers after, and it was crazy.
What a story! Like,
yeah,
at least you guys got the win, because usually how those games go, you guys get clapped and it's like 8-0, like stuff, like just a gong show.
Yeah, it was. We were like, what the hell did we just do? And the fact that we won, we were like dying laughing in the locker room.
Yeah, it's a good. It makes for a good story, even though
it was good. It was good. It's good little.
Boost the confidence for the boys a little bit.
Yeah. It was just a good. If anything, it probably helped us get the stronger little bond as as a team, because like we're like feel like sometimes situations like that, when you go through a really hardship, something as a team collectively as a whole, you're like, oh, that was fucked, but then like you always talk about it for like a week or two after, and kind of brings all the boys together. So it was good. It was funny.
Absolutely. Brings you guys together, and like that could be a turning point in the season when if nothing's going right, and then that happens and it turns boys around, and you guys just go on a hot streak or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I want to get into this season a little bit here. So this season, you started off with signing a contract with the Norfolk Admirals in the Coast, where you got to play in a game, and like you faced some adversity with that team. With like there's a ton of other goaltenders in the system over there.
Yeah.
So like what did you do to overcome that obstacle throughout like the first weeks in Norfolk before signing with Wichita?
Yeah, so I was in Norfolk for probably a good month, maybe 2, October. Yeah, almost 2 months, just trying to, we had 2 guys down from Carolina, it was definitely tough. And, Ryan, Coach Ryan McGinnis, the GM there, he was very transparent with me, and, kind of understanding the situation, kind of knew it going into it. We didn't think, both guys would be down for as long as they were, but, it's just the nature of the sport. But I still didn't change my daily routine, daily habits, anything like that. I just knew I had to be ready for my my next start. That's kind of my motto with anything I do. Kind of just doesn't matter what's going on away from the rink, you still got to prepare and get ready for your next start. And it was tough, not playing it for over a month or 2, and then getting a game in Reading when they just let Beck Warm kind of just stay home for a trip. And I felt I played well and just didn't get the outcome we wanted. And then a couple of weeks later, McGinnis, he kind of brought me in and kind of exploring options and what best route for me as a player, as a goalie, to play the most. And Wichita had a situation where they needed a guy to come in and play games, and for me, that's everything I need right now, is just to play and prove that at this level and higher. So I was just very fortunate. Wichita here, we have a great organization, great coaching, great owners. It's good. We're just going through a tough time as a team, but we have a good group of guys, and we'll get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, do you feel like when you are in a situation like that, you just got to look at like the positives and just do everything you can to control what you can, like preparing for games, even if like you're not playing, like still have those same routines and everything, and just go about like your business if you were starting that game or starting the next day?
Yeah, if you're 10-0 or 0-10, I still do the same exact thing every day. Kind of frees your mind of overthinking plays or situations in the net. So it kind of relieves all that extra stress and worry, or I'd say mostly just stress that goalies generally put on themselves about, playing really well. They get away from their routine, playing really bad. They try to do more, then they grip the stick a little too tight. I just keep doing the same thing. I just treat every day is a game day. So I just keep, doing those routines, being the, most prepared I can for myself and my team, and just being ready to show up and be a good pro every day.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you get that fresh start in Wichita, where you played in 11 games so far. So like, what's it been like in Wichita, and like what's been like, even though you guys aren't like aren't winning games a lot there right now, but you guys are going to get through it. So like, what are some of the things you're focusing on when like throughout, like when you are like, you guys aren't doing that well and you're just trying to find a way to find something to win?
The biggest thing is I just want to give my team a chance to win every night.
Yeah.
If I have to stop, 60, or I have to stop 30 or 10, or it doesn't matter what it is, just give my team a chance to win. Try to eliminate as many goals as I can that aren't deflections or, backdoor tap-ins or anything like that. So if I give, sometimes the score doesn't dictate how well you play. And, but every night going into the game, I just want to give my team a chance to win, battle, don't give up on pucks. I, communicate, but never out of the fight. Doesn't matter as a goalie, because the next thing you got to worry about is that next shot. Doesn't matter if you stopped 100 out of 100 before, but if you net led in the next 5, it doesn't matter, so it's just one shot at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like when you do get this opportunity, just go in there, just not think about anything, just do everything you can, and to like give the boys a chance to win and just be able to give everyone the best chance to get that W.
Yeah, I've created like my own kind of process, I like to call it, routine. It's not a routine, it's like how I play and certain, like I mentioned earlier, certain situations about mastering the crease and all that. So I have my process there, and I just stick to the process. I know if I'm hitting my points, I'm going to be eliminating goals that I can stop. And so if I just stick to that, I know I'm going to give my team the best chance to win a game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, what do you do? Like, what's your mindset like when you do like give up like an off chance you do give up a deflection or like a backdoor tap in, or like anything that you think you should have? Like, what's your mindset like to just keep it positive?
If I should have stopped it?
Yeah.
I kind of just thought, keep it PG, but I say damn, and I just move on, get the puck out of my net quick, because I don't like pucks being in my net. And then I just, focus on the next one. Watch the replay on the jumbo and see, what I could have done different, or what adjustment I got to make, or look at my process, see if I execute the process or not. And then, go from there. Then puck drops, you got to be ready for that next shot.
Yeah, always got to be ready for that next shot. That you got to have that next puck mentality. Like the next puck comes, you got to save it and like cover it up whenever, or control your rebound, or whatever you got to do is just give the boys a chance to win and have a good night for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's number one. Just got to give your team a chance to win. And that's, at the end of the night, you do the best you can. You get that, people recognize that, your teammates recognize that, and, hopefully keep advancing.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, what's been like your favorite part about being in Wichita so far this season?
I think the best part, we have a good group of guys. We have a really nice rink facility. It's a really good town, really good people. People are passionate about the town here and about the team, and it's contagious. Like we still get a lot of fans even though we're losing. People really care, and makes you want to play even harder day in and day out, and be prepared, and try to be the best for them too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all you can do is just do whatever you can to give your team the best chance to win, and just be able to enjoy the time when you're there, and the opportunity that you got from Wichita.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, what are your like expectations going further into the season? Just get the team back on track and give the boys the best chance to win, like we've been saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, being prepared, going into practice every day, challenging the guys. I joke with Reamer, Van Reem's like, I always tell him no freebies, there's no freebies here. So, just challenging the guys, being, ready. And I know if I do that, I'll be ready for my next start. And also help the team by challenging the guys to try to score more goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I want to wish you the best of luck with Wichita the rest of the season. And I know I have some viewer Q&A questions a little bit here. I have like 2 or 3.
Sounds
so
good.
we'll wrap things up with that. But the first question is, where is your favorite place to eat in Wichita?
Favorite place to eat in Wichita? That's a good question. The 6S Steakhouse. Very good. High end.
That sounds really good. And like I'm sure their steak is top notch too.
Oh yeah, they got this bread too that just it's very good.
It goes hand in hand with steak.
Oh yeah, get a nice little asparagus, little calamari.
Oh yeah, that's
good.
Yummy.
If you ever go to Wichita, come to 6S Steakhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely have, or anyone that's over in Wichita, definitely go check that out. And the next question is, what do you do like on an off day if you're like trying to entertain yourself? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing in Wichita?
Well, we have a really we have a really good partnership with Genesis Health Club. Go to the gym, hot tub, sauna, kind of take care of the body that way. Since it's kind of nice out here, you just kind of enjoy the outdoors. I like being outside, being more than in my room. Just being with the guys too, you can't go wrong. I have a great roommate, Stenell. So it's just days they go by faster in the year, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to do whatever you can to help recover the body and just go outside, enjoy the warmer weather than most places now, and just be able to get out and have some fun with the boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the final question is, well, let me pull it up. I lost it for a second.
All good.
What's been like your favorite memory from this season?
Favorite memory? Favorite. That's a good question. I mean, see, because then I can't say one or the other because I know guys are just going to give you shit if they hear it. Because
guys are always going to give you shit no matter what.
Yeah, that is true. Shit. I think that actually the best memory would probably be when I was heading to Wichita. I was able to come home, go back home to Detroit, see my family. I was able to see my grandma. She died, she passed away recently. So I would say kind of that whole situation, leaving Norfolk, going to Wichita, was able to let me see my grandma. So that was probably the best memory so far this year.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, but it's good that you got that memory and just you're able to just spend time with family. Family is super important. Anytime you get the chance to spend it with family, you gotta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think that'll be a great place to end. But Jake, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time, and I want to wish you the best of luck with Wichita going forward this season. And I look forward to following your career the rest of the way. And you'll for sure be on the podcast again sometime in the future.
And thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure, and keep doing the good work. These are really good pods, and keep going this year. Keep grinding.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.